Hello, I'm Christopher Zahir Atkins, and I'm 23 years old. I've experienced homelessness for about 1 year.
What do you think common misconceptions about homeless folks are?
One of the main common misconceptions about homeless youth is that they did something wrong in order to get into that situation.
Um, how does one find community and support if they are homeless?
Community support.
Yeah.
Various resources within King County or in Seattle is basically about the individual and what they're willing to do for themselves in that situation.
How do you perceive people who are not experiencing a situation similar to yours?
Excuse me?
How do you perceive people who are not experiencing a situation similar to yours, or if you're in homelessness? While you were experiencing homelessness, how did you perceive people out of homelessness?
Well, that weren't homeless.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought they were normal. I partake in different groups while I was homeless because I'm also a dancer. So like, uh, dance as far as what it meant to me and what types of pathways it led me. It led me to many different avenues, even though I was still in my homeless situation. So, I was still, I still saw people as themselves. I just knew that, as far as my individual outcome, it was homeless.
What are your current dreams and goals?
My current dream is to become an international dancer.
And do you think homelessness has hindered that dream at all? Or made it harder to achieve?
In a sense, only because there are means in order to achieve that type of goal, and being homeless kind of weakened my foundation in order to achieve that. So, yeah.
Based on your experiences, do you have anything you'd like to say or ask the mayor of Seattle?
Ask the mayor of Seattle.
Yeah, regarding homelessness or
Oh, homelessness is not who you are. It's just a situation, and it's about patience and self. So, just keep pushing, and let's try to end it.
Cool. Is there anything else you think people should know about homelessness that may be overlooked?
Mm, yeah, there's certain stigmas that people still have about homeless youth, and I feel as though that if you just were to talk to them and get like a more better and full, clear, vivid understanding as to how they got into that situation, then I feel that that individual with their unique story that led them to that homeless situation would be able to give them ideas on how to make their situation more enjoyable, more easier, and possibly get them out and back to their feet.
All right. Thank you very much.
No problem.
Is there anything else you wanna say?
I want to give a shout out to Shadow Shifters crew. I love my mom, Claudia Atkins. Give a shout out to Kenneth Thimby, New Horizons, the Mockingbird Society, and I love you all.
My name is Daniel. I'm 20 years old. I'm from Mexico. I'm from the state of Jalisco. I was brought up here by my parents at the age of 4 to the United States. We came through California and ended up in Washington. I've been in Washington for 15 years, and I'm happy to be here. Now I'm in Seattle. I've been in Seattle for about a year now, and yeah, I'm here today, and I'm happy to be here.
What do you think some common misconceptions about homeless people
Common misconceptions are that they are out in the street to do no good and pretty much use and abuse the services that are provided for these homeless people out here. Um, Most of the people out here seem like really torn down people, um, but some of them have a clear goal that they want to get accomplished, and they have that ambition to get them done one step at a time. I think that just misconception is that a lot of homeless people are seen as people who don't want to get anything done in their lives and just have no other option to be on the street. Um, so yeah, that's one misconception there. Um,
What are your goals and dreams?
my goals and dreams in life, I want to be a sound engineer, and I want to go to college. I'm working towards getting my work employment verification. I'm waiting that in the mail, and hopefully that comes through for me. And I'm hoping that it clears. And honestly, I'm on my way to just a better path in life, because these last 15 years have been really tough on me. Just on finding employment and using my resources wisely. Um, I've been on the street, and it really hurts to see other people out there that really want to get stuff done when they really can't, when they're stuck in a jam, and have no other option but to be on the street because they have no income and they have no way to maintain and upkeep.
How has homelessness gone in the way of your dreams?
Homelessness has impacted me in a way that has asked me, that has made me ask myself a lot of questions. It has made me question why me? Why is it happening to me? I don't see myself much different than any other people out here, and I think that just the impact that it has made in my life has definitely stopped me from just reaching certain goals in my life that I really wanted to get done earlier in my life, and I really couldn't because of just being told no when I really had the ambition to go in through doors, and get something done with my life. It really has just opened my eyes to the world we live in today, in the modern government that is set upon us. It's a system that we fall into, and it really can be overcome if you really push yourself and keep going, and keep your head level. I think it's also the support of many others that helps me continue to chase those dreams. I have not let down those goals that I came here with the intention of doing. I think that homelessness has really helped me to just be a stronger person just day by day, and continue to achieve those dreams on the daily basis.
Finally, is there anything else you'd like people to know about homelessness?
I want them to know that it doesn't last forever. There is support out there that you can fall into. There is a lot of support out here that you might not think that's out there, but you do eventually come across that support barrier, that ladder that you need to climb over the hill, and you can really just work your way up, slowly but surely. Although it might seem that every step and every reach you take up in that ladder is really hard, but over time you really see yourself looking down and looking at yourself and telling yourself that you are really a human being, and you're not just some trash on the streets. You really can overcome any challenge that you face while homelessness, let it be drug addiction, abuse of any kind. Just it really is it's amazing to see that um, many who have encountered those problems in the streets have really overcome and achieved a lot in their lives and have turned their lives around. So I believe that homelessness is very eye-opening and very real. It just is a learning experience that we go through um, and face these challenges as humans beings together. Um, yeah.
So, what do you two think some common misperceptions about homeless folks are?
That like they're stupid, they don't have education, because what they have done in their earlier years, that's where they ended up. But in real life, it's how the outcomes in which they faced through their lives. You know, like maybe because they were in debt, because they were a student in high school or universities, they had to pay loans, and they don't have the money because they're poor in their past. So that's
Pretty much what he said. Most people don't have to, the way they look, they don't have to be like raggy clothes, smelling nasty. Some people can dress really nice, they have really nice clothes. And they try to blend in with the crowd, and that you don't know which one's homeless, which one's not, basically.
Right. Okay. And how does one find community and support on the streets?
Well, through experience, I've seen homeless people sitting down, having signs, and they're totally not recognized. They don't even be noticed at all. So people just walk past them. They look out, they look for people, and they ask them for money, and for like a ration of food or whatever like that. And we just ignore them because we don't have that, or we just don't want to give them to them because we think like, oh, they're going to use it for like heroin or meth, but in reality, sometimes they just want to survive. Just live on the streets because they can't do anything else, and they're forced to do this.
Pretty much what you said.
What about community? How do you find other folks to relate to?
Well, I know a couple organizations around here. There's some that they pull up in vans and they give out clothes and food and tents and all that stuff. But mostly word of mouth. I usually hear about people who mostly hear stories of people who tell about homeless people and how they were going to give them something, but they didn't know if they should, if it was the right idea or not.
Awesome. So, many people who haven't experienced homelessness, they have a lot of misconceptions about people who are homeless. So, being on the streets, do you have how do you perceive people who are not experiencing a situation similar to yours, if that makes sense?
They have no idea what we're going through. They don't know what our past is. They don't know who we've been dealing with. They don't know what our history is. They just judge. Oh, he's homeless. He has no money. He's on the streets. Period.
I believe they become ignorant to the fact of who they are. They become they're born into a family of richnesses, and they're obnoxious because they haven't felt the difficulties of life with the homeless people, or the difficulties in which they have to go through time and time again, while the people who are rich or even just median families, they just go through lives like, oh, it's cool, and they just walk past someone who could be poor, and they don't notice it at all. And that person could be, dying, starving, or just dying from disease in the streets.
Based on your experiences, what would you say or ask the mayor of Seattle?
Get more shelters for kids under 18.
Yeah.
Well, that's a broad topic. If you think about homelessness as in children, I believe universities should lower the rate, or for in this case, they have FAFSA. If you're poor or low income, you can sign up for that, and you can go to the universities and they pay for it. But once you're an adult and you say you don't have a school education, which I know people like that before, they can't do anything because they're forced to stay down, and they can't get a job for engineering or stuff like that because they don't have diplomas, they haven't been to school. So let's say they try to do McDonald's or any restaurant, the owners don't make them apply because how they look like. They oh no, this guy has problems or schizophrenia or he's done a drug type, and they can't trust that. So in this case they're forced into a bubble in the world just to be like surviving on their own. And the cities, no matter what it is like more of a survival, like an Amazon jungle, and that's their life.
If I could ask the mayor one question and give him an answer of what I would want him to change in Seattle, is my question would be, what's your plan to stop homelessness in Seattle? If he says get more shelters, I'm like, then how are you going to do it, and when are you going to do it?
That's good. What are your dreams? How do you foresee achieving them? And what obstacles are you currently facing that get in the way of those dreams?
My dream's already coming true. When I come from Germany, and I was an immigrant from Germany, and I came here when I was 6 or 8, and I was just living on the streets. And then one day I just went into a coffee shop and I just started reading poems, and people start loving them. And so one day a dude comes up to me and he says, "You should apply for this grant fund." He says, "It's only $20, and I don't have that money." And he pays for myself. And ever since then, I've just been. I'm a writer. I'm a fighter, and not literally on the streets, but like I'm MMA. I'm black belt in like three types of fighting moves. And I'm a poet. So my dreams are just become an actor, a writer, and the things I love like dancing or singing and stuff like that is my dreams. So they're already coming true as we speak. So.
For me, my main dream is to be a person who helps people, like a missionary, a pastor, a cop. Cops in Seattle aren't doing a great job. Even Ken here, what he's doing with the teenagers here. What's the question again?
What are your dreams? How do you foresee achieving them? And what obstacles are you currently facing to achieve those?
Obstacles right now is probably school. Not saying I have a bad GPA. Actually, I have a pretty good one, but just I have 2 more years of school, and I want to get it done now, and like I want to be a senior now and get on in my life, but I can't. I got school to finish, and high school, well, college to finish too. I want to go.
Goes by quick.
Hope it does.
Last question. Is there anything else you'd like folks to know? About any situation that you're currently facing or have, or just anything that people may not know?
There is one thing I would like people to know. If you walk down 3rd Avenue and you see a homeless dude, if you even walk down here and there's a big park where the mayor lives, or offices, there's a bunch of homeless people, just say hi or smile at them, because that could change their day completely. If somebody says hi to you, say hi back. Or if someone says, "Can I ask for a cigarette?" Say, "No, I don't have one. I'll get you next time if I do." Just respond. Don't be a person who doesn't respond. On my Facebook page, I was saying something to my friend, and I said, "Don't be the bully, be the man." Bullies just walk away. A man goes, help the person. So basically, just say one word to this person. Hi, have a good day, and that can make their day.
Okay, that's cool. I believe you should just simply, like you said, acknowledge who they are, speak to them. If you don't have anything for them, just have a convo with them. Speak who they are, and just make their day feel better. Another thing I feel that's like the governor and stuff like that. I know the economic system is not in crisis, but it is fluctuating constantly. So when the time arises, you should seek the opportunity to see if you can make a program for people who are in debt, who are have to pay loans or homeless, and bring them up, see what they can do, because everyone has a potential, they just don't know yet.
You have a dream out there, you just gotta go figure out what your dream is. If you're homeless, it's much harder than if you're a kid like me, you're still in high school. But you just gotta figure out what's happening, how you can change your life. If you have an addiction problem, how you can get help. If you are a prostitute, how you can stop being a prostitute. basically figure out what you do and try to accomplish it.
Is that everything? Sweet. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
That's all.
So I'm Chris Sammons. I'm a direct service intern at New Horizons.
My name is Ken Simbi. I work in drop-in and also do outreach for New Horizons.
Has working with your participants changed how you view homelessness at all?
Yeah, it's definitely changed how I view homelessness because when you come in at first, you have a different lens. You look at it from outside coming in. When I got to build relationships with the homeless population, when I started out on New Horizon around 5 years ago, it was easier to just, they were more approachable than people make it sound, or they just like myself and Chris, where you just go say hello, start a relationship, and you're talking to an individual who has needs just like you do. There was nothing standoffish about them. There was nothing dangerous about the homeless population. So that was definitely, yeah, different mindset for me.
I think for me, the variety of stories of how particularly youth became homeless were probably the biggest things. From either getting kicked out of the house or leaving because of a bad situation. I don't know if I had an initial perception of why they were there in the first place, but I think just the overwhelming number of stories that were different but like similar in the fact of having to leave home because of unsafe scenarios and stuff like that. Probably big for me.
Is there anything you'd like to see the city of Seattle doing more to help homeless youth?
What would you say, Chris?
Yes, but I don't know what it would be. Yeah, I'm not sure. The city of Seattle seems to have a lot of social services, and they try to make a big effort for it, but for some reason the number keeps going up. So whatever that, I'm not quite sure what that would look like. But yeah, definitely,
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I would, because, I mean, they did a one-night count / count-a-sin of counting the
Yeah.
homeless population, and it went up by 22% from the previous year. So that was like 3,700 homeless folks out there. That was surprising, and that's a big number. So I'd like to see, it's not an easy answer because it's not just saying housing, it's not just saying more jobs. You could create all these things and still have homelessness, but creating a sustainable way of how to keep people homeless, like add housing, add jobs, but also make a way that folks are able to follow through with individuals, like a full plan in which we're able to just have more accountability with people.
Is there anything you'd like to see regular citizens doing to help?
I think especially with it's like the little things of so I live close to the U District, and a lot of the youth live or hang out around the Ave, and just how normal people treat and interact with the youth. I mean, there's the perception of like being dirty or dangerous or whatever, and that's not the world that I see at all. And so to see everybody else treat them in that sort of way, I mean, eventually you're going to start to try and act the way people perceive you. So I would like to see that change.
You know, I've talked to a lot of young men and women in the homeless population, and it was surprising to me how simple of a request they had for folks like myself, or like you asked, you know, just regular citizens, which is just to be noticed. When you're walking by Safe Westlake, which is one of a really popular spot for homeless folks, just say hi. You know, they do not want to be invisible. They want you to know that they're there. And I was guilty of that. Like I said back before I was introduced to the population, I'd think that they'd want their own space, or they're just there holding their sign up but do not want to be disturbed. But a smile, a simple hello, how you doing, and a check-in is all they ask. They do not want to be invisible.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you.